Hello, everyone. It's been a long time. I know it's been, over 2 months. Let's see, it was the end of July, August, September. Yeah, it's been over 2 months. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. But there is a lot to catch you up on, and I'm going to try to get through it as quickly as I can. Um, Things have been kind of crazy. First, let me say Happy Unity Day to those who celebrate. Today, this kind of rainy Unity Day is, for those who don't know, is the day that East and West Germany became just plain old Germany again. It's the reunification day, and so it's a national holiday, and everything's closed, and perfect day to stay home, um, especially since it's kind of rainy out. Anyway, so I had my birthday, as those of you who listened to the last the last video knew was coming up. So I'm just changing the name of this thing to 60 something and recently moved to Berlin. Then I don't have to keep changing it. Um, Anyway, it was a nice day. It didn't go as planned. Um, it was rainy, so we couldn't do the park. Uh, so everyone came to my place, and I learned very quickly that this is not a great party apartment. It was very cramped, and it just there's not a lot of space. So it was a little crazy, but it was still very nice. And people brought all kinds of food and drink, and I made a cake, and it was very nice. It was nice to spend time with my friends. So I am now 61. Yippee doodles. Okay. After that day, the next day, I developed foot issues again. Um, and I don't even know from what. I mean, maybe just cooking or being on my feet a little bit. I wasn't that much on my feet, but I developed basically Achilles tendonitis. So my Achilles tendon in my right foot was starting to hurt. And the next day I was leaving for a trip to Switzerland. So it was not good timing. I ended up I was in Geneva for a day and Lausanne for a day, walking around, really hobbling around. It was very painful. But I planned the trip, so I went. But it was hard to walk. And then I took the train and bus up to the little mountain village where my friend was going to be from the States. My friend Lily, who I knew from New York originally, but then she moved to the Boston area and got married and has kids and is a wonderful actress and singer and mother. And so her family has several vacation homes up in this Vallon. Now I can't remember the name. It starts with a V. Um, Valence sur something. Anyway, it's a long name. It was stunningly gorgeous, but I could barely walk, so it was hard. Went to a thermal bath, which was the nicest, most relaxing part of the trip. And anyway, but it was absolutely beautiful there. Um, and even snowed up there in August, which was crazy. Um, so I came back and went to the doctor. I went to a podiatrist who gave me a cortisone shot and and also ended up with back problems from limping so much. But it was very strange. It would only happen when I got out of bed for like 10 minutes. It was excruciating pain, and then it would dissipate. It was very strange. I changed beds because I thought maybe it was the bed, but it wasn't the bed, I don't think, because was in different beds. So I went to the chiropractor, who helped a little, but he was afraid to touch me because I was in such pain. Um, but whatever. He did a little bit of work, and I gradually got better. Um, then the Friday after I got back, a new friend that I have made here, who's American, um, invited me to go to a Friday night synagogue service at a synagogue that I was curious to check out because they have singers there, and it's the Petzalosi synagogue? Petza something. No, not Palazzo. I can't remember the name, but it's like Pezz. It's an Italian name. It's the name of the street it's on. Anyway, it's a very interesting but strange service. It's Reform, which is kind of what I'm used to. Well, I do conservative and Reform and Orthodox. I've sung in all three. But this Reform synagogue had the men and women sitting separately, which I've never seen in a Reform synagogue before. And all of the music was by Lewandowski, who is a famous kind of romantic period Jewish composer. Beautiful music, but it's all that one composer. So there's not really much variety, but it was a nice service, and the people were friendly, and they knew people I knew from cantors from the U.S. So that was kind of funny. And I spoke with the cantor, and he gave me his card, and I told him I was a singer. And he actually could have used me for High Holy Days as a bass, which I'm not really, but I could possibly fake it. But I had a job out of town for Yom Kippur, so I couldn't do it. But it was a good connection to make, because you never know, he may need a tenor sometime. So that was nice, and then we went out to for some Indian food after. That was Southern Indian food, really good, very good place in Charlottenburg. So then a good friend of mine, when I stayed with when I was back in New York, and her husband were here, and it was really nice to see some of my old friends. And we went out to dinner and had a lovely time. So that was very nice. They were doing a big trip around Europe. Then I went away on a job to Arnsberg, which is, where was it? I can't even remember where it was. I think it's kind of towards Dusseldorf, that direction somewhere. Anyway, a beautiful town, really beautiful old middle part of the town. But my foot started hurting again. And now it was just below the Achilles tendon. It was like a bump. And it wasn't, I could walk on it, but it was not great. And we had a disastrous start to the trip. We got to our hotel and they had no reservation for us and no rooms. We called the emergency number for our work and nobody answered. So we were stuck with nowhere to stay. We were there for a week. And the woman at the hotel was kind enough to call around the town at hotels to find us somewhere for at least one night. So we got one night, and luckily one of us, not me, had enough money to cover the rooms, because I couldn't. And the next day we learned, and it was a nice hotel we were in, we learned the next day that the rooms had been booked with an expired credit card, and the person who did that didn't check their emails to see that it had been canceled. and they had the emergency phone on mute. So triple whammy there. I was livid. I was so angry about the whole thing. It was just ridiculous. But they did end up booking us in 2 different hotels because nobody was free the whole week. So we ended up being okay, but we had to move 3 times in 3 different hotels. Luckily, the school was nice, so that was good, and the town was very nice. Anyway, I wrote some pretty nasty feedback, so I don't know. I don't think anything will probably change, but Anyway, so when I got back, I decided I was going to go to a meetup group because I need to meet people. And I met a few people. It was for musicians, songwriters and musicians and music professionals. And I met some very young people who were nice, but no one I'm probably going to really, I didn't really connect that closely with anyone. A couple people, a little, maybe we'll stay in touch, but we'll see. And didn't really make any career connections, for that. But I'm glad I went. My foot was still hurting, but I went. And then the following week, I went to another job. And this one, by now my foot was a little better. Because I went back to the doctor and got another cortisone shot, and he gave me prescription for oh my God, I'm losing my mind. This has been happening a lot lately. 61 is even worse. For custom insoles to be made. So I went and got those made and have been using them. And also some physical therapy, which wasn't really doing anything to start with. And then my physical therapist got into a car accident. So anyway, the foot was better for a while, and then it hurt again last 2 weeks. It's better now. I don't know what I'm going to do. Something's got to be done about this foot issue. But I'm plugging along. Anyway, so I was in Mülheim an der Ruhr, a very drab city, really. But and we were doing a film week, and it was an interesting week. And I came back from there and went right away to Portugal, where I did the cooking job for the Bears. And outside of a couple days that were very long, 13 hours on my feet cooking. I don't know how my feet held up for that, but they did. Gorgeous house we were staying in, sort of inland from Porto. And went on some excursions to the Douro River. Douro. I know the pronunciation is weird. It isn't how it looks. I had it, but now I don't remember. We went wine tasting, and then we went wine tasting, and then we went wine tasting, and we did a lot of wine tasting, and ate a lot. And the cooking went well overall. A couple things didn't go so well, but there were a couple very long 13-hour days on my feet. And then I did a 6-course meal, which went really well. I was very pleased with that on our last night. One of our guys got COVID, but luckily none of us did. And then we went back to Porto, and I traveled around Porto and got to know that beautiful city. It's really beautiful. I loved Porto. Looking at my notes here, because there's a lot of stuff. So then I came back, and my stomach was weird. I don't know what happened. I think I might have gotten some kind of stomach bug. It wasn't COVID. I tested, but I had a little fever and my stomach was just really weird. It was just not sort of a little pain, but it was more just not happy. um, I'm fine now, got over that, whatever it was. Um, and then I went to Winterschleube again. That was the job, my almost first job that I had here. The castle down near Altenburg. And that was a good week. It was a fun week. But that's when my foot started hurting again. And it got better. And then, anyway, it just went back and forth. But it was a really good week, and I had some very good feedback from the teachers, which I learned of. They were surprised I was so good for my age. I'm not sure what that meant, but they thought I had like the best rapport with the kids, which was very nice. And it was a good group, so that was a fun week. And I came back and almost immediately went to Husum, up in the north. Husum is a really interesting place, and that whole area was very interesting. We had a disaster on Deutsche Bahn getting there. All the trains stopped in a town called Itzehoe, and nothing. There was an accident or something, and buses were supposed to come but didn't, and then finally one did. But there were hundreds of us waiting, so I called our host, who we were staying with families, and it was just two of us. And she came to get us because we didn't know when we would get there. So she came to get us, and I learned that her husband had COVID. So I'm going to stay at a home where a person has COVID. Was a little nervous about that, but he stayed away. But then she tested positive on Thursday. And then he was okay on Thursday. So I got both of them, separately. But I was worried that I had been, with her all week. So far, I'm okay. It's been 5 days, so hopefully I'll stay okay. But it was a nice week. Really, really nice kids. It was a theater week. We did some nice plays. And the family I stayed with was really, really generous and nice, and really enjoyed them. Got to see the area around there, St. Peter's on the beach there, and the dikes, and went to this interesting art museum, a Nazi painter, but very interesting one. If you're hearing weird noises, there's a tree outside falling apart. It's a giant horse chestnut tree, and in the wind, the chestnuts, the leaves, branches, everything is flying into my... Whoa, you heard that? Flying into my windows, and it's a little insane. Anyway, but Husum was wonderful. So then I'm back now this week in Berlin. I'm going to be working 3 days in Berlin this week, starting tomorrow. So other stuff. I had my 2-year anniversary on the 21st. Can't believe I've been here 2 years. I have a couple new voice students, which is very nice. But I really am having money issues. I just can't seem to get ahead. And it's been a little troublesome. My job takes several weeks to pay. So I'm waiting to get paid and trying to find more work. I do have something exciting coming up to tell you, though, but I won't get paid for that for a couple of months. So, a month and a half or so. But so I'm looking for voice students. I'm looking to start doing musical theater workshops. I need to get things going. I'm just sort of in a bit of a not in a great place, but I'm trying to figure it out and do more with my shows. I really want to get more involved in the stuff that I love doing. Anyway, we'll figure it out. I've also been having horrible internet problems. I don't know what happened. My internet, it goes in and out, and I don't know if it's this tree that's gotten into the wires or what, but that's driving me crazy. My big news is, and I'm going to run out of time here. My big news is my Christmas caroling group. I had sent out a bunch of letters to all kinds of places for the holidays, and the Glühweiners have been hired to sing at the Mall of Berlin every day from November 27th through December 23rd, which is incredible. 2 hours, 3 to 5 every day, except Sundays, but there might be 2 Sundays that we do. So I've got my group together. We've got all this contracts set. Also singing at the Gendarmenmarkt Christmas market for 2 nights on the 16th and 17th. So that's also very exciting. So I'm looking forward to that and singing again. And I've got some new singers, new basses, and I think it's going to be a really good group. And maybe some of you could come out and hear us. Okay, I'm back. I had to delete some things because I was going to run out of time. Oh my God, it feels like we're being bombed. I really hate this sound. Anyway, so almost done here. So I'm very excited about the holidays and singing again, and so that's good, and it'll be a nice chunk of money, which I desperately need. KSK, still don't know, but they wrote asking for some more information. They're curious about my insurance now, which is a temporary expat insurance, which is not really a German insurance like a regular insurance. So the person helping me doesn't think it's helpful to use them to write that to them, but I don't know. We got to figure it out. She's talking to a friend of hers who should know more about all this stuff. So they also wanted to know my forecasted income for next year, which should be pretty much the same as this year. So anyway, we still don't know. Rosh Hashanah, I went to a lovely dinner actually at a friend's house, my one Jewish friend here, and a friend from the U.S. And so she hosted a dinner, and it was very, very nice. What did I make? I don't even remember. I don't remember what I made. Oh, it was a dessert. It was a honey cake. I made a honey cake. It came out very well. I was very happy. What else? Oh, just a couple little things. The other best friend I had here left, went back to Brazil. So that's another friend who left. There's been 4 now. I'm still working on getting a social life going here. There's things here and there, but not as much as I'd like. I'm a social guy. What can I say? I'm a social guy. And my German. I have been working with a program, online free program called Language Transfer, that I'm really liking. It goes very slowly, and it makes sense out of everything, and I'm starting to understand more what people are saying and able to form sentences a little bit better. So the German is getting besser. It's getting a little besser. I have to work more regularly on that, but I'm going to be home more coming up. So the only 2 places I'm going for the rest of the year that I know of are a little town called Frankenberg, the one in Saxony, not the one in the West. I found out there were two. I thought I was going to the one in the West, but it's the one in Saxony. And I'm going there in a couple of weeks, and then to Fulda again for a theater a few days. Everything else is here in Berlin. So next week, and then I have one day in Berlin in November. I only have one job in November, one day. So hopefully more will come in. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Who knows? I think I sang that for you one time. And trying to write more. And I have a new idea for a new musical. So I'm excited to get to work on that also. Okay, I have spoken long enough. You are updated. I, still feel kind of in limbo here until I get the insurance worked out. I am trying to get my insurance in the U.S. Renewed just in case and just to have it. But I can't get on the website there, and they want my address, which is here, and it's like they basically said I can't. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm working on that though. I got a VPN. Hopefully that will help get into that website, so I can just do it online and use the mailing address I'm using in the US for now. I don't know, because I'm not, at the moment, I mean, I don't have two homes, but I haven't officially left the US completely. I still have a bank account there. I still get mail there. So we'll see. But I'm working on that. And yeah, I think that's it. So hope you're all doing well. I will, any new news, I will update you. And thanks for watching, as always. Okay, bye.